Hello everyone, this is the Pennsylvania and Florida Eastern here with another review today, and today we have a long time coming engine. I'm surprised I haven't done this earlier than later, really, especially with my other engines being one of my favorites, and since I got them they were like, oh, I gotta get it. But anyways, this is a PCM made by Broadway Limited I1sa Decapod for the Pennsylvania Railroad. This is an ancient model, probably around, I don't know, between 15-20 years old. I got this used. I'm not sure, or I remember where I got it from, but when I got it, I'm not sure if anybody else gets this. It's a Pennsylvania Railroad Division brochure, it looks like. It's got interesting stuff in here and whatnot. Here's their layout. I'm not sure if if it came from there and they're selling stuff off, some of their old equipment, but don't know. I'm not 100% sure how I got this engine from, although I do know it came from somewhere up north. Again, yeah, this is a old model. It has QSI sound in there, and they have some different stuff like this old instruction manual. It's just a white paper. It says Broadway Limited, and it has like a lot more stuff than you would see in your normal Broadway Limited instruction manual. It's got like 53 pages of stuff. I think in the back it said Tony's Trains. I don't know. It says something about Tony's Trains, about something. I don't know. But yeah. This model, I don't know why, but it says you can do interior lights for the cab and whatnot, and this model is not equipped with that. So it's almost like as if you got those brass models with, and you ask what features you want on it. It's kind of like that. Now, I'm not 100% sure if that was true back then, but I figured that's how it used to be. This is like one of those forms right there. You can see it doesn't have a cab light, but it could if you want to fit it. So I was really interested about that, and that's when they used to do like a 1-year warranty. That's definitely way out of warranty now. And then you got a possibility to make a 2-year warranty, which wouldn't be relevant anymore. This is a tender, exploded parts diagram for the tender. Not sure how much that changed over the time with the short tender. And here's the exploded parts for the locomotive itself. It's got a nice fat can motor with a flywheel in there. Looks like it connects really closely to the worm gear. It's pretty cool if it focuses. Worm gear's right near the top of that tower. Gotta love it that it's not really focusing. There you go, there's that worm gear. And it connects with the idler gear, and then I believe that's another gear right down to the main piece right there. So that's cool. There's a lot of forms that I got in this box. You can look at the locomotive. It's not connected to the tender. This is a plastic model. It's got a plastic body, but it has a die-cast chassis. There's the main gear that drives the locomotive, is the center drive wheel. Not sure why it's not focusing. It should focus. A lot of detail. It looks like somebody painted the drive rods. Not sure why. Nothing else is weathered. This engine's not weathered or anything. A vent opens. If it focuses. It's not sure why it doesn't want to focus. It sucks. But there we go. Oh, it was focusing. Not much detail on the below side again. Turn it around. Got some air pumps, fuel pumps. Some more piping detail. There's some of the exposed firebox at the bottom right there, the dark gray. There's 2 crew figures in there. Inside the cab, some more pipe dealing. Inside the cab, there's not really a lot of backhead detail. I don't think a lot of Broadway Limited engines did that anyways. But it's just really a firebox, door. And here's the front of the locomotive. I think that looks really great. I really like how it looks. So, off to the tender. And as I put this back on the track, I'll tell you a little bit of the worries and whatnot about this engine. This engine has maybe one issue on it. There's a crack in gears that were not that really strong, I guess, made for this model. They obviously fixed this later on with Paragon 2 and so on. I'm not sure if they actually made a Broadway Limited Paragon 1, but anything earlier than Paragon 2 I always see is the PCM Precision Craft models 1. This is also plastic. Tender base is plastic. Trucks are plastic. It's got some good pickups. Even though it's only one side of the wheel that's going to be picked up. Got a rear tail light. Rear headlight right there. No operating marker lights on the engine or the tender. There's a doghouse. There's no crew figure in there, which is fine. The coal on these older models does not have real coal. Reminds me of the Bachmann coal in that K4 behind the T1 over there. It's really plasticky. Here's the tether. Here's the pin that goes into the arm over there to connect to the locomotive. It's got a water scoop. It's not functional. Not a lot of detail on it here. This is pretty much their first run from PCM. I like the gold leafing on the Pennsylvania. Looks really nice. I'm not sure if this tender is exactly the same. I'm pretty sure somebody will tell me if this tender is exactly the same. There's some grab irons right here on the edge of the tender. This is pretty much the only tender I have of this style. It has this doghouse on it too, so I can't really say if they're the same, if there's really much difference on the older models. But it's a really nice made model. I like, for the time of this locomotive being made, it's really impressive. I'm gonna put up the deck plate and put the plug in. So yeah, the Decapods eventually replaced, I believe, the 282s for mainline heavy freight, or I believe it's either that or the what's it called? It's the H10s. Either or, the one they both got replaced for the heavy, slow drag freights. And these locomotives didn't go really fast. They probably went up to maybe 50 at most, but they'd probably most likely pulled 10 mile per hour, 20 mile per hour slow coal drag freights. And they usually would double head. Sometimes they would have a helper decapod sometimes to push the rear. And these engines were also pushing locomotives later on for steep grades. You would have one or two of these, usually two, as far as I can tell from videos, that they'll push heavy freight trains that a J1 or a Q2 would be pushing up a steep hill, or just as extra help to get over a hill. And And you could probably see him helping engines up on Horseshoe Curve too, and they would go down by themselves sometimes to go back down the mountain to wait for the next train to be pushed up there. But they were very versatile locomotives. I believe almost 1,000 of these things were made. I could be wrong, but there was so many of these decapods made. It's not even funny. These were really popular in the Pennsylvania. They were very powerful too. I would be surprised if these were the most powerful decapods in America. They're huge. They're humongous. Just the size of these decapods is ridiculous. It's almost. It's not as big as a T1, but I have the cab, the tip of the cab to the front, and it's getting there next to the T1. It's huge. It's probably the same length or maybe a little bit longer than that IHC locomotive in the back, or the AHM locomotive that I have that says White Pass over there, the 282. It really is an amazing locomotive. The huge Belpaire firebox you see right here is humongous. I think it's amazing how this area is not supported by anything. It's all supported by those big 10, those small 10 driver wheels, and it really is a cool looking locomotive. I really like it. I'll probably do a comparison video later on. That's a mystery right now. I will be comparing it to a later model at some point. Don't know when, so keep staying tuned for that. But yeah, this is a nice model. I did look inside the smoke box, and it looks like there's a smoke unit in there. But when I looked at the what it's equipped and whatnot, it doesn't have smoke. I'm not gonna really see if it really works or not, because again, I don't really want to break anything since it's not old, because it's really hard to come by parts now, and I know BLI doesn't really fix old engines, which is surprising because I don't think BLI has changed much the Decapod over the years, so I'd be surprised. But it is what it is. Why to buy new models? Yet they say, "Oh, we got a repair department. See, these engines are never throw away." Like, oh, okay, then make parts for the older models that fit with them. I know I'm ranting about Broadway Limited, but if these are not throw away, then please keep making parts for them. That you can still make money by making parts. It's like a car, Some people don't want to give away their old cars. Just keep making parts, spare parts for them. So this is the function sheet. There's only 12 functions. It's basically, less than half than what they usually make nowadays. So we're going to start her up. And put the number in, which is 4268. Let's see what happens. There we go. So we're going to press F0. No headlight. So let's see if reverse headlight's working. Nope. Again, this is an old model. I don't know when I'm going to fix that. F1 is the bell. Not really the best sounds, but it is what it was back then. I'm pretty sure everyone was so excited when they heard these HO models making sounds. F2 is the whistle. I think it's good. It's not the best, but I think it's better than the Paragon 2 Banshee whistle. I know a lot of people are like, what? KOSI is better than something and something? Yes, that's true. It is. I like this whistle. Except you can't really play with it enough. So that's the downside of it. F3 is coupler clash. And coupler fire. F4 is the automatic blower, which I'm pretty sure it's playing right now. F5 is dynamic brake. F6 is initiate Doppler effect. So like when the train comes, I guess, close, it'll do like a Doppler effect. But it's really strange because Usually when the Doppler effects work, it doesn't really work. I've done it with MTH, like O scale or O gauge stuff, and it's cool, the Doppler, hearing the train coming from a distance, even though it's right in front of you. You know, it takes some time to really work again. I would think it would have some proximity thing towards the controller or something, but no. F7 is squealing brakes. Flanges and air brakes is pretty cool. F8's the mute button. So it kind of just fades away and fades back in. F9's very heavy load. Okay, I gotta see how that one will work. F10's locomotive speed report. It sounds very modern for an old locomotive to hear that kind of stuff going on. Alternative whistle. What is the alternative whistle? That's F11. Okay, nothing really happened. That's alright. Just double checking. F12 is cab lights, but you know, there's no cab lights. Which can some people be ashamed, some it's not. It's kind of gimmicky, really. My T1s don't have cab lights, which is fine. And anyway, we're gonna couple up these passenger cars. I know it's out of place, but you know what? If the Decapod in real life got restored to running order, which I believe is in New York State, pretty sure it would probably pull excursion trains and passenger cars. Because, I mean, you can only really do slow coal freight drags and coal cars or hopper cars, really. Today, they're not really heavy compared to back then. They're a lot bigger, too, so you can do what you can do with it. So, before we get running, the gap between this is amazing. I'm surprised BLI has not tried to do this a lot more. I mean, I've seen coupler gaps between locomotives in the later models, especially Paragon 2 and Paragon 3. This coupler gap is amazing between the locomotive and the tender. It's like, it's so close. You would probably say it's about a foot gap, really, in real life. But the deck plate does sit on the tender somewhat. What are you going to do? It's manufacturing. Anywho, yeah, I'm just really impressed with that gappage. And you might as well open the vent because that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool feature on this model. I got this for $200 about a year or two ago during COVID, during the lockdown, really. Prices of these have gone up. Now, you could try and get these for $200. I'm not saying it's not possible, but these Decapods are going up in price lately, and especially Paragon 2. For some reason, people are trying to still sell the Paragon 2 models for like $450, which is way more than what the Paragon 4 ones are going to be. It's ridiculous. I mean, you're asking people to buy an old model that's maybe 8 or 10 years old for like $450 when the brand new ones are going to be coming around the corner soon with the Keep Alive, which is not the biggest selling point, but to me it's the biggest selling point, having Keep Alive on these silly Broadway engines. But no, this one actually runs really good. Especially, I haven't run it at my club. That's usually the mega test, is to run it at my club. It's like the most well-made layout. It's great, but it usually tests the locomotives and really the manufacturer's ability to have, their trains run on anybody's layout. And we'll have to see one day. Or maybe I could probably upgrade and outfit this locomotive with modern tech in it. Maybe I could do that instead. Who knows? It's going to be a fun one to do. But, yeah. Let's get this running. Here we go. Let's check the slow speed. Doesn't really go that slow compared to other engines. But that's okay. That's pretty slow. I do like the sounds though. It just doesn't sound as crisp, you know, as like the later sounds. Oh, your hesitated a bit. It's okay. Come on. Let's go. Oh, she derailed. Oh my gosh. I know. We had a short. Alright, that's good. Now, there's not a lot of leeway for some reason on those decapods. I try to put it back on the track. It's kind of off screen, I know, but it looks like those drive rods don't, or not really the drive rods. Well, yeah, the drive rods and the drive wheels don't have a lot of side-to-side movement when going around curves. Feels like a brass model almost. So it's going to come around the corner. You'll see it in the top left as it goes past those sensor bags that I have over there. It's not really going fast. It sounds like it's going fast, but you know, it's a decapod. There it comes. It sucks that the headlight does not work. I'm pretty sure that could be a simple fix, maybe with some modern LEDs and whatnot. We get to see that nice running gear of that 10 wheels just spinning right there with the drive arms. It's a really nice locomotive. So would I recommend this locomotive? If you can find spare parts in case the cracked gears do happen, even if you buy a model and you don't know if they have cracked gears, I would say it would be a good idea to make sure you can find a source of spare parts. I know somebody who has spare parts for one of these because he has one himself. So if I ever need one, I could probably ask him and probably pay him for like, you know, whatever to get the spare part, and then I could probably fix it. I forgot to show if I can open this back up again. These boxes are always a pain to open up. Got like some sort of pressurized thing going on with these boxes. I believe this locomotive already has like its traction tire wheel set on there. You do get an extra wheel set in case you want to go back to that no traction tire kind of look. You don't have to deal with traction tires, so that's a good thing. I don't know how much it would affect. It's going to affect it a lot, actually, but in terms of pulling a regular train, I don't know if it has enough weight. It should, but I don't know. I never replaced it and tried to pull a very long freight train with it before. This engine does not come out of its box that very much. Usually it's at the bottom of my storage area where my locomotives are. So it doesn't really get that much out time, but mainly because I don't want to hear the gear crack. So understand that it's an older model, but I really shouldn't worry. It runs really well. I rarely go past 3 that much when running this engine on my dial. People are wondering, what does 3 stand for? So I have a Digitrax DCS 50, which is the Zephyr starter. And it's a really great one. I recommend it for anybody who wants to start a loop of track with DCC and other functions right away. I think it's a really great controller. if anybody wants to get into DCC right away. It's not cheap, but in the long run, it's worth it. It's really great. It's really solid. So on there it says stop, and then it has maybe like an inch or two until around the dial it says 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, and then full. And 3 is pretty much around the halfway point. For some steam engines like my T1, once it hits the 3, it's still going at a usual pace, and then after 3 it seems to jump and it seems to arc up in power. This engine, I haven't really seen what happens after 3. I'm pretty sure it would still just slowly have more acceleration, gradual acceleration, not really like a change acceleration to just be like a lot higher to go to top speed. Yeah, there's not a lot of stuttering on this model. That's how fast it'd probably really go in real life. That's normally what you'd see, just a nice cruise, pulling freight cars. In this case, we're pulling a passenger train. Because why not? It's my railroad. I'll let anything pull something. But I think when I get a bigger layout, I'll have everybody do their usual jobs. So yeah, the Precision Craft models. There's the cat. Hello, kitty. I know you want attention. Look at him. You should get out of here. But yeah, the Precision Craft models, Broadway Limited, which is made by Broadway Limited for PCM. I don't know what was going on back then, but the PRR I1sa Decapod for the Pennsylvania Railroad is a really nice model. It's probably going to be the cheapest of the bunch. Some people try to sell them over like $300 sometimes. Just make sure when you look at the photos on eBay, for example, just make sure you get to see the box and the photos, or ask the person and read the description, of course. And if they don't say anything about which era it is, just ask them for a photo of the box of what it came in. I know some people probably get defensive, but if someone gets defensive, it probably means something's not right. But there's nothing wrong. There's nothing really to hide. You know what you're going to get into once you dive into the history of these engines. Again, you just got to worry about the cracked gear problems that the earlier models had. Same goes with the early Hudson. That was pretty much the first from the ground up model, and that had cracked gear problems. I don't understand how you could screw that up, really. How could you screw that up? But not to get into a rant or anything, but how can you screw that up and not making durable gears, even if they're plastic? I'm pretty sure they had durable plastic at the time, but since I guess now we're really getting into the advances of plastic right now, I'm pretty sure we can probably have better plastic gears. I don't know, it's usually a Bachmann thing. They usually have gear problems and whatnot. I don't want to replace my models. I already bought it. Why would I need to get another one? I'd rather just upgrade the electronics. But if I want to get more, you're going to have to eventually, if you want more of the same engine, you're going to have to either wait for the old ones or buy some new ones. Which is fine. It doesn't matter which way you choose. You just got to know, The MSRP goes up. A little bit of delay when you press the whistle. It's not that bad. So we'll let it come back around and we'll have it stop in front of the T1 and then we'll end the video. And if I haven't iterated enough, the chuffing's really nice. I have to say the chuffing on this model is probably one of the best, even though the sound could be better. A little bit twitchy. And that's it. Thanks again for coming to my review. I'll see you in the next one. This is the Pennsylvania and Florida Eastern signing out.